everybody. This is John Marola from Keeping It Real Section 5 Football, and we are definitely winding down to our second season. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody that tuned in to us once a week, guys, or people, we just got to say thank you for doing that. We really, really appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please just go and subscribe right now. It's really easy. It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the subscribe button. Go over and hit the like. And if you have any comments, what we can do better or what you like or whatever, just give us suggestions. We'll really appreciate those suggestions going into next year. Okay, here we go. To my far right, my partner, Section 5 Hall of Fame coach from East High School, Coach Paul Burgandy. Paul?
Thank you, John, and welcome, Coach Bill Devitt.
Thanks, Paul. Johnny, thanks for inviting me.
No problem. And the man in the middle this week, this is what we're going to do this week is, well, first of all, I got to go back a little bit, and we're missing a guy, Coach Lanning. For Coach Lanning to get on you a couple of weeks ago about you being away and all that, now he's gone.
Well, Johnny, I like to keep the high road. We're a team, and I'm a team player.
That's it. Like you said before, the team, Michigan. So we're going to do this without Coach Lanning. I'm sure he'll critique us next week when we get him back on. What we're going to talk about today is we're going to just go over and we're going to go through the AA, A, B, C, and D's and just, give out our all league or our all Keeping It Real team. We did that last year and actually had some people that really enjoyed it. So one thing I got to start to say before we get into this is we can't get every kid involved. There's just way too many. And I'm sure we're going to miss somebody. So let me just apologize before we do that. But, we're just going to try to recognize some of the kids that had an outstanding 2025 season. So,
Bill, get us started. Tell us a little bit about the Livingston County League this year. We had a couple representatives in state play.
We had... Avant was sectional champion along with Alexander Pembroke Merge. Okay, and then we had some strong teams with Leroy, York. Was a league champion or a division champion, and ended up getting a couple of their best players hurt in the semifinal of the sectional game because they were the only team during the regular season to knock off Avon, and. So we had York. Again, it's a strong league from top to bottom. A rich tradition of Livingston County football. You go way back. Always send a couple of representatives to the state.
We had Leroy Kelmum for years.
Hornell.
Hornell was a great rep. Yes.
So it was a good year. The teams that had been forced to play 8-man have built their programs back up to play 11-man football, so things are good. Nobody had to drop any games or programs or anything, so it was very good.
You did have a merge, right? Didn't is this the first year of the Perry Ledgeworth merge or second or what?
Second year of the three-school merge. Alexander merged with Pembroke for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Pembroke was the
8-man
team the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's the first year. Notre Dame and Bergen.
I think that is their first year.
They merged, played in the sectional finals against Avon. So
very good.
It's creeping up on boys football, and it's not creeping. They're kind of coming through the front door because the boys are all coming together, with schools. Girls flag football. I think they're at, they might be almost, if they're not tied with the boys as far as team-wise, I think there's 42 boys.
Bill, has that hit the Livingston County? Many
I think
have the girls' flag?
I think there's 3.
3? Oh, okay.
I think 3. I know Geneseo has one, Avon has one, and there might, maybe Leroy? But there's, Geneseo and Avon definitely each have one. And I know that there's been pressure, or interest. I don't want to call it pressure from a bunch of other schools. And in some of the schools, with the enrollment shrinking, to offer like softball, track, and things like this. Again, we'll have to, with the smaller schools, merge with girls football too.
Now, is there one Section 5 team that merged with a Section 6 team?
Yeah, Cuba.
Cuba Rushford or
Cuba, no.
Was it?
Cuba
Right,
Rushford
they were
merged with Hillsdale and somebody else, and they play in Section 6.
6 now, okay.
Yeah. That's really weird.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
It's Bolivar. It's Bolivar, Cuba, and Hillsdale, and they play all their home games in Hillsdale or Hinsdale.
Bill, I just want to go back to that Perry, Warsaw, Ledgeworth, merge. Are they playing games at all three of the schools, or how do they work that? As far as
They
scheduling?
each get each
They all
get
have a
one home
homecoming
game.
game? They have
They all have homecoming.
They'll have a homecoming game.
and senior night at the
Okay.
same time.
Okay.
Then they hosted a sectional football game, and so whoever hosted the first game of the year got the sectional game. So
nice.
they practice at Letchworth about 100% of the time because Letchworth has so much space and fields.
Lands, yep.
And Perry and Warsaw are landlocked.
Mm.
So not much, not any areas really to practice. So they practice all there at Letchworth and each get a home game.
Well, they, by the combining, they, maybe saved, the programs, help with the numbers just to, and hopefully with some of the successes they've had, they can build up,
I might be wrong. There might be a class. I don't know if it's a senior class or there's only 12 boys.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's a real small class naturally, and they only have 12 boys.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
so
It's not even a classroom.
yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about some of the outstanding players from the Livingston County League that we should recognize this year.
Okay. Let's just start offensively. Okay. And again, I have some statistics. Others I have just coaches' comments. And start out with offense right away. I have a Parker Bonafide from York, and more than one coach said he was the best pure quarterback in the C and D bracket. Okay, York, like I said, they were the only team to knock off Avon during the regular season. He had a great year, both throwing and running the ball. And I had heard that him and another player got knocked out of their sectional semifinal, and that's why they lost. But they say he's the best, pure quarterback. There was, another quarterback, and Evan Bly from Avon.
Yes.
They had a sectional championship.
Sectional champion. He passed for over 2,100 yards. So again, really tough choice with between the two of them. It's like I said.
And Bill, we had spoke earlier before we went on. As far as these names, yet it's still early. No one's made any commitments, or at least announced a commitment as far as where they would be attending college and who was, plan on continuing playing football.
I haven't heard from any coaches or anybody I've talked to just in passing if any of their players where they're going or what they're doing. So many of these kids are multiple sport athletes as it is.
Right. Well, they continue playing football, and some of them are being recruited by multiple colleges, and then these kids make their visits and make a decision sometime.
We're going to talk about it too. Paul and I were at the this past Sunday. We were down at the RIT conference, and they had the 2025.
Yeah, the National Football Foundation fall banquet awards scholarships for both boys football and girls flag football, along with youth and cheerleading.
Yep.
Awards.
I attended it. I was there on Sunday. I taped a lot of it. just so people know, next Thursday, people don't know this or not, is Christmas. So we are not going to have anything, but the taping that I did up at RIT on Sunday with the audio with it, if you want to get up Sunday morning, I'm going to have it on at 9 a.m. Christmas morning.
Well,
So,
and if you get a chance to, because it was a very impressive event, there was over 300 people at that event.
now I remember one thing quick. I remember Wade Bianco telling me that the first year they held it, they didn't have enough, or they had very little.
Right.
Did they cancel it? Did
Yeah.
they have to cancel it?
It has just completely just grown and blown up now. And now with the addition of girls flag football, which has more than doubled. They almost have as many awards winners in the girls flag football as they do in the boys.
They recognized the some Pop Warner teams.
Yes, they did. The youth level.
Excuse me. The girls flag football. They had a bunch of girls.
Yeah, and there was over $7,500 in scholarship money that went out to these award winners. That, along with kids, received plaques and T-shirts and so on. So it was a great night. And at the national level, Archie Manning is the president of the National Football Foundation, and they're very involved with the college coaches, the high school, and Wade Bianco, our roster chapter of the National Football Foundation. He was invited to the National Convention in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago because we had the young man from East Rochester who was our player of the year this year. Ben, who I think is attending Wagner.
Yes, Ben Newman.
And Ben was our representative for all of New York State.
Wow. That is impressive.
Major event.
I mean, I was just impressed with filling up over 300 people in the room.
Yeah, and I think the things, obviously, that stood out, and I know you coached with Dave for a long time, Dave Neiman received the Coaches Award, the late Dave Neiman, and his wife, Carrie Jo, gave just a spectacular speech and you get a chance to listen to that next week. She really was very touching, received a standing ovation.
Yeah, it was brought back some memories, again, shedded some tears, had a couple laughs, but KJ did an awesome job. And just next Thursday at 9 a.m. while the kids are unwrapping their presents, turn the TV on, YouTube it, and I'll have that on Christmas Day morning.
Great.
So I just wanted to say that. Oh, the thing that I was thinking about that is I ran into Frankie Burgess, the Aquinas lineman who received...
he received I think he got a gold.
Yes, he did.
A gold, yes.
And just talking to him about college, he's right now he's looking at Cornell. So
great, good student. Those kids that were nominated and awards winners were not only great on the athletic field, they had great academics, and they did a lot of community service.
I got to go back. Sorry, not Cornell, Cortland.
Oh, Cortland,
which is not as far as academics and football.
Different.
Yeah. So, and then I also heard that our week number 1 player of the week from Aquinas, the running back.
Oh, Logan.
Oh, Jeff Logan. Man, I'm sorry, Jeff. He's going to go to Central Connecticut State.
Well, you know what, John? It's great now as we start hearing, of some of these kids' commitments. We will pass that on to our viewers.
I think that's really pretty nice there too. So, back to Coach. Where are we at?
Okay, I was going to, just kind of go down, through the offense first of all, and, I might, like some all-star teams have 13 or 14 players on here, but, it was pretty tough to differentiate or bump people out. You said how hard it was for you. So I have three people here for running back. The first one is just a classic old school fullback, and that's Cam Regi from the Leroy Caledonia team. Great lead blocker. I believe he led the team in rushing also. Then I have a James Chase from Avon, and some statistics on him. Again, Avon was a big offensive team. He carried the ball 126 times for 916 yards. He also picked up over 300 yards receiving the ball. He scored 9 touchdowns. And the other running back I have is a Ryder Reichert. I apologize if I butcher the names. I've never been very good at them.
Nice.
He's an Alexander Pembroke kid. And when this Kingston Woods got hurt early in the year, Alex picked up the slack and became the main ball carrier on the team. He's a tough, hard-nosed kid. Plays both ways, but like I said, he picked up the slack for the Pembroke Alexander team. Okay, so those are the kids I have for running back. Go down my list here. I got a Nick Scott from the merged Oakfield Elba team playing as a tight end. He's a 2-time All-League player for football. It's a Genesee Region team. He's a 3-sport kid who's a captain in each sport.
Wow.
So
Impressive, yeah.
hard-nosed kid. Very good inline blocker, very good receiver. Like I said, he plays 3 sports: baseball, basketball, football. His coach says nothing but great things to say about him.
Sounds like a good leader too.
Yeah, very good
captain
leader.
of all 3 sports.
The next 2 guys, again, when I talk to these coaches, they use the term Swiss Army knife. For a lot of them. Sometimes sometimes we play them at wide receiver, sometimes at running back, even sometimes quarterback. But these 2 kids for wide receiver, both, is told Swiss Army knife. And the first one is Calman Dolges from Avon. He led all of Section 5 in touchdowns.
Right.
He scored 7 in one game.
We've heard him for the last couple of years.
Right, we've been here.
Him for the last couple of years.
Every week his name is being mentioned.
Again, I think he had over 1,000 yards receiving the ball, but like I said, he led Section 5 in all the touchdowns. I think he had 29 for the year. He had 7 in one game. Ran the ball for him, caught passes, even threw a couple passes, and he's the long snapper on the.
Nice.
So just the versatility of all the different things he does for his team.
The other Swiss Army knife at wide receiver is this Yariel Diaz Penna from York. Same type of kid. Jet sweeps, bubble screens, passes. Get the ball in his hands every chance they can, especially in space.
Make something out of nothing.
Yeah. York was a divisional champ, and unfortunately they got upset on a last minute touchdown in the semifinals. It would have been exciting to watch them play Avon again, being that they were the only team that knocked Avon off during the year. After that, I have just a group of offensive linemen, from different schools. And again, when I talk to people about Alexander Pembroke, the thing they say about that their offensive and defensive line was so dynamic. They were the most dominating group of people. So with that blanket statement, one of them is Jacob Johnson from Alexander Pembroke. I talked to one coach. He said that both their offense and defensive line should just be the all-star team. It's a bit of a stretch, but yeah. But Alexander Pembroke, Jacob Johnson. Then I have a Trent Englert from York. And there's, again, you don't see very many offensive linemen as Swiss Army knives, but he played some fullback for York. He played some tight end, but his main position was offensive guard.
Any relation to
Andy's son?
Oh, that's Andy Englert's son. Wow.
Yeah, that's his son.
The one thing that we were just talking about it, I've talked about this a little bit before. I think it's very important that kids today that are playing football, like you just said, he played a little line, he played some tight end. Play multiple positions. Don't tell a coach or whoever, I'm a receiver, I'm a running back. They're recruiting you. You're not recruiting them.
Yeah.
Don't get locked in. If you're a lineman, play center, guard, and tackle. Show the colleges on tape that, hey, coach, look I can play all three positions. Or if I'm a running back, I can play in the slot, receiver, running back, quarterback.
It's a great point, Johnny, and we had spoke about the Dogus kid.
Yeah.
That he was a long snapper also, and learning a skill. If you can do, the more things you can do to get on the field, the better.
So, I have Trent Engler. Again, he's another three-sport kid. He's a wrestler and track kid. Then I have a Stenson Hall from Notre Dame, Byron Burgeon. I think he played in the Eddie Meath game. Not sure. Again, another hard-nosed kid. Again, Notre Dame started out kind of slow and ended up playing in the sectional finals, But so I have him, a Skylar Miles out of Canisteel Greenwood. I think played in the Eddie Meath game. Also a hard-nosed kid, two-way player. And then I have a Wyatt Shannon from Livonia. And again, some of these kids, when I was checking about, maybe their teams weren't very successful record-wise, but opposing coaches mentioned them as players who had stuck out. Again, I have one HFL player, an August Youngstrom. I talked to somebody. She goes, "I'm not a big expert on football, but he's one of our best players."
I watched him. I think it was the game on TV. They played Monroe, and they were beating Monroe actually at halftime. And he was a standout on both sides of the ball. Number 52. Yes.
Yeah. So those are the people from my research, from other coaches that I put in for the offensive group. Again, a lot of these guys, I told you, Swiss Army knife, hard-nosed player, and everyone is listed as a two-way player. Now, defensively, again, I might have 13 or 14 kids on there, but that's what it is.
We're recognizing kids.
The first kid, first defensive lineman I had is a Carter Pricer, and he's from the merged team of Letchworth Perry Warsaw. He's a hard-nosed, again, we use that term a lot, but he's an edge setter. He's a defensive end. He sets a hard edge. People don't run his way because of that. He's a big physical kid. He is also a three-sport kid who does wrestles in the 285 category. Not that he weighs, he must be just over the 215 limit. He's a 50-foot shot putter. He's a hard-nosed, physically gifted kid. So he Carter Pricer from the Letchworth Perry Warsaw one. I got a Madden pair again. As I said earlier, that people said that Alexander could put both their offense and defensive line in here. I have two kids from Alexander Pembroke. I have a Madden Perry. People again talked about. Can anybody hear me?
Yep.
A hard-nosed kid that he is. He's a big physical kid. Again, coaches that I surveyed mentioned him a lot. The other one was a Wyatt Sumner, who's a lot like this Carter Pricer, great edge setter, physical kid. And the last defensive lineman I have is Carvel Martino from Batavia. Played in the Eddie Meath game. He represented this section in the shot put and discus and spring track, and I think in the shot put and winter track last year. So again, all of these people, they said, big physical, hard-nosed kids.
And if you're getting recognized by opposite coaches, then you must be pretty good. So,
then I have some linebackers. It seems like everybody, who I talked to, always had some linebackers that really stuck out. And the first one is this Liam Campbell from York. He was a Class D Defensive Player of the Year. Led the team in tackles. Now, I think along with the Bonafide kid, he also got hurt in this semifinals, which led them to get knocked off.
Right.
I mentioned one, Ryder Reichert earlier, Alexander Pembroke, but very good linebacker for them. But also his partner Sean Petrowski two very good interior linebackers, on a very good, probably the best defense, in the Section 5 of the C's and D's, okay? Two big, strong interior linebackers. Then I have a Maggio Burkholz from Batavia. Again, strong Batavia team, the last few years. He's a two-way starter, played in that Meath game also. Hard-nosed kid, plays, Swiss Army knife, plays linebacker on defense. I think he's played some quarterback, plays some running back. Okay, so those are the people I have as linebackers. And again, other coaches pick these kids out and send them to me as far as people to take a look at for this.
And some of these kids are solid on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They are very skilled.
Like I said, I used this term before, Swiss Army knife. There's so many of these kids that, when coaches talked about, sometimes they were tight ends, sometimes they were fullback, sometimes, again, in Trent Englert, offensive lineman all the time, is your best position, yet you played fullback and tight end. For the defensive backs, I have a Caden Samursky from the Letchworth Perry Warsaw, hard-hitting, safety that fills the alley. Mm-hmm. He's a great tackler. Again, he's a two-way player. He led, as a ball carrier, he led the team in rushing 2 years in a row. Let the merged team of Letchworth Perry and Warsaw. They played in the sectional finals this year. Played in the semifinals last year. I mean, they've really got it going. And again, he's a really hard-nosed kid. He has a good instinct for the ball and a good tackler. Again, he used that multiple. This Austin Hall from Canisteo Greenwood, very versatile. He running back or quarterback at Canisteo. Played some running back too. Again, he played wherever. I think one of the coaches told me they thought he played linebacker a little bit. Played wherever he needed. Canisteo, again, they have a good hard-nosed football team. I have this Brennan Jeffers from Wellsville, and he missed the first part of the year, and they lost some close games. And he came back, and they rattled off some wins at the end of the year. But again, hard-nosed defensive back, very good ball carrier. Did whatever it takes. Again, all these guys are good tacklers, and hard-nosed players. A Chase Antonor from the Notre Dame Byron Burgeon team. He started out the year as a wide receiver. They switched him to quarterback. In fact, he threw the last-minute touchdown pass to knock York out of the sectionals. Played defensive back. Again, eye for a ball, great tackler. And the last one I got is Connor Elmore from Leroy, Caledonia. Played in the Eddie Meath game also. Again, hard-nosed. Again, Leroy, Caledonia kids are always very good tacklers. Mm-hmm. Hard-nosed kid at the point of attack, breaks up a lot of passes. And some of these guys, again, seems like the further out you play, the less notoriety. Like Canisteo Greenwood and Wellsville. But coaches that I talk to speak highly of both of those guys. We don't necessarily see them all the time. But that's, offense and defense. And I got a Gabe Mayer from Avon as a kicker. Again, he converted 45 out of 50 extra points,
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
So, like I said, like you guys had both said, a lot of people had, given information, and, I picked the people, or, spoke about the people that their coaches talked about, but opposing coaches talked about.
Well, Bill, you did a tremendous job. Great research.
Yes.
He reminds me of John, like the Mel Kiper. He's coming in talking about X player. That's sets the edge. I like that, Bill.
You know what? When you're retired, you have a lot of free time.
That's awesome. I wish I had.
But a very, very thorough job, and you with your contacts in the Livingston County League. A lot of great football players. We'll find out, in the coming weeks and months where some of them will be attending college and the ones that are planning on continuing playing football.
Well, like with some of these multiple sport athletes, you're going to, like this Carvel Martino, you can read about him throwing the shot put and discus, for Batavia. This Parker Bonafide, he's a very good basketball player. You'll be hearing about him doing that, and some of these other guys.
They'll have some decisions to
wrestling,
be made. Yeah, the decisions to be made.
But it was good, good talking to these guys and getting their input on this. This was, again, it was fun last year. It's more fun this year.
Yeah. The one thing when Paul and I started this all up and everything, one thing that I really, really enjoy is, and I'm sure with you and Paul, is that we're getting to meet the younger coaches. I've talked to a lot of them on the phone, and I've been out to a lot of their practices and games, and just seeing a guy like Tim Rose over at ER. I met him and just doing a great job. Tyler down at, he's doing a lot of stuff down where they are.
I talked to Tyler for like an hour on the phone because I hadn't talked to him since he was a player at Brockport.
Bill coached him.
I coached him.
Really? Okay.
I hadn't talked to him since I left Brockport, and so I ended up talking to him for an hour. It's tough though. When you talk to these younger coaches and you have to use, decades ago.
That it wasn't just a year ago or whatever.
Well, great job.
Yeah, great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We bring you back every year to give us the, and maybe in the preseason, some of the players to watch for the upcoming season when we do a Livingston County search.
This is still on the table, by the way. I talked to Antoine, the guy that runs the NIL, by the way, up here. He's still talking about having that Monroe County night. You know how they have SEC night, ACC night?
Preseason.
We're going to have a Monroe County night. We're going to have a Livingston County night. Genesee. So if we get the Livingston and those, I'd like you to come on.
It used to be the Genesee region in the Livingston County, and then decades ago, they made it one big league. It was awesome, and they had 3 divisions. And then they broke up, and now, in Livingston County, I think there's only 2 schools that aren't merged, and it's Livonia and Avon.
And, we had a chance to talk to Dave Marine at the National Football Foundation meeting, and the Finger Lakes teams that all went independent are now going to come back in. To that Class B. And he was excited just to have some of the natural rivalries that when they were going Federation, they were not able to have. And, for example, Wayne Pale Mac was always a big rivalry between the 2 towns. And to get those back, I think, and to get those teams back into the Class B. And, we didn't mention, and I know they're going to have a lot of state honors, is Monroe.
Yeah.
And many players are worthy of all league, and they'll be obviously going to be on the all state teams. Yeah,
those kids had just one outstanding season, and they're tough. They're tough as tough can be, and. They had, they stayed healthy.
Healthy, and they have, a good thing going there, and have got better and better each year. Now, win a state championship. Congratulations to them, and they'll go into next season. But a lot of the kids have now, played those games and seen what it's like at the state level. So look out for them next year too.
Now, what we're going to do now is Paul and I are going to go over the AA and A's, and we're just going to highlight some kids that we watched throughout the year. You want to start it, or you want me to start?
Well, go ahead. We've had some of them as players of the week, on our podcast. You You can start at the quarterback level. You know.
I'm gonna start at most valuable player.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna start at most offensively and then defensively. I'm gonna give you my offensive player of the year right now. We're gonna start right off with a bang. All right.
Oh, in the
double in A and the A. My offensive player of the year from UPrep,
quarterback.
Gavin White.
Yeah, the quarterback.
Now, looking back, again, these could all, you could say this kid, that kid, this. I'll tell you something. I'm going to get this off the top of my head because I just tried to. 1,900 total yards of offense.
Right.
He had 19 touchdowns. How about 16 of them rushing?
Wow. And he blocked a kick to beat Fairport.
Yes.
I think, too. So he's done a lot of things.
So he is our my offensive player of the year.
Yeah, I think that's a great, great choice. There's a lot of guys I can tell you, and I'm thinking of a young man that was a running back for Arundequoit. When
Cooper?
Yeah, because remember the one got
Josh got hurt.
And then he picked up the role.
Cooper, the lacrosse.
Yeah, and he did an outstanding job keeping them.
I'll tell you, those freaking lacrosse kids, you can't have enough of them on your team.
Yep.
And this one, and I forget his last name. I'm sorry, Cooper, I forgot his last name, but he's going to West Point to play lacrosse.
Well, just in the decades ago, the great Fairport football teams were great lacrosse players.
Yeah.
And the majority of them did go and play lacrosse in college. They're kids who can run. They have great eye-hand coordination. They're physical and.
And I think on the defensive side, the outstanding. I think it's Hunzinger, the one from Brighton.
Yes.
Matthew. That he just stood out. I think he is accepted a scout to the University of Buffalo. He was very impressive leading that Brighton team, not only on the defensive side, but he had some very key plays. The fake punt that he took it upon himself.
Yes,
in the sectional finals, but he was all over the field.
I'm going to talk to Coach Leon about that when we have him on.
Yeah,
because they're back-to-back Section 5 winners, along with Avon. Avon's back-to-back.
To have that, but he definitely stood out on the defensive side. But there was a lot of great performances throughout the year. Some of the accomplishments, and I look at it even more as teams what Penfield did this year, winning their first sectional championship. I thought East High had a great football season themselves. With that, we saw teams. Pittsford elevated. Was to a sectional finals. So we saw some teams that were traditionally had been down get back to the top.
Well,
again.
This year was really different with the double A's and the A's too a little bit, but just how there were those teams in the beginning of the season that were hot.
Right.
And then teams thrown out. McQuaid. Who would ever think McQuaid would be 0-6? Start their season off.
And they came on.
They won their last 3 out of 4.
What about Hilton? Hilton lost their first 2.
Hilton beat Brighton during the season.
Yeah.
So there's it was a lot of parity, and it was it's a week-to-week league now, and you want to stay healthy. I think that hurt Rush Henrietta a little bit when the quarterback went down. Mangon, and that hurt them. But they had started out great, and losing quarterback a big part of their offense because he was right up there as an outstanding player.
And then I'll go even a little deeper. Our player of the week, the young man that's quarterback, Watkins from Webster.
Had a fantastic season.
And he gets hurt. He got a concussion against Brighton in the sectional finals, and in the second quarter. So,
and you talk about when he's healthy. That the Logan young man was probably the top running back in the area when healthy. And you had mentioned him earlier that he's accepted a scholarship.
Yeah.
But again, you got it's a long season. You got to stay healthy, and these teams are so close that can make the difference in a lot of the games.
yes, and just going through that week-to-week thing. I'll tell you, there were some good football games being played, and again, I was very impressed with how it was done, as far as how organized things are. You know what I'm saying? I thought the Section 5, the finals, semis went really smooth. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Brockport State playing those games out there, but really, there's really no other place to be played right now.
They, again, it's, I think that a lot of it comes down to financial considerations and availability.
Now, a question: why did Fisher squeeze people out? They used to love having the sectionals there.
Yeah.
Well, again, I don't, we don't
And you know what else?
that stuff, but I think a lot of it, it can be administrative decision. It can be a financial decision.
You know what else was weird was I go to the Eddie Meath game. It's at the U of R. I would love to see sectional games at the U of R again. We grew up coaching at the U of R.
And-
You know what I'm
and-
saying?
I mean, back in the day, you'd play your semifinals also at U of R.
Yes.
And, even now, I mean, the finals were played at a college site, whether it was Brockport. We played some of them at St. John Fisher in the past. We played, now at Brockport.
I'm glad it's back at college, because I remember the one year, nothing against my Hilton people, but that Aquinas McQuaid game finals was at Hilton. No, it just didn't. I like it to be bigger, as big as you can make it be. I know there's a lot that goes into it, but just trying to make it let these kids remember that for the rest of their lives. You know what I'm saying?
We played a sectional football game at McAvoy Park.
Nice.
Yeah, and we were the third game. There was a JV field hockey game,
Oh,
a
boy.
varsity field hockey game, and then a sectional football game. There's 100 lines on the field.
Oh yeah.
You got to try and tell, okay, football lines are going to be white.
Oh, that is
No locker rooms. I mean,
Yeah, they had nothing out. We got a bathroom, and I think that was it.
There's so much to consider. And again, I think when we get the chairman winners on, and we're going to talk about some of the future of Section 5 and some of his visions.
Things that we'd like to see, and if it could be manageable. And again, talking to you, talking to George Giordano, Coach Lanning, we're in it to, if we can help out any way, this is us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
We remember how some of these things were. We've talked about the Eddie Meath game that was televised when it first came out. The sectional championship games that Rich Funky and Channel 10 would do a highlight.
Yep. The Super Six.
Yeah, they would show that. So, and even some of the things that were, some of the coverage in the Democrat and Chronicle.
how about the fact that you used to play 9 games?
Yeah.
And there's so much that is still up. The league alignments, if they're going to go back to leagues, what will the league alignment? Who will be where?
Yeah.
And scheduling. And those are all in the upcoming weeks that we should get that information.
Oh, we'll have it within a month, I'd say.
What the leagues are, what the schedule will be, and we go on from there.
Okay. I'm pretty good right now. How's everybody else doing?
We're great.
You're doing good?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to, like I said, we're not going to get into the double A's and A's too much, as far as naming kids and all that. We named them throughout the season. I mean,
Right.
just an overall highlight of, like I said, watching teams like Penfield win sectionals. It just
a first time.
yeah,
First time.
just Penfield and Pittsford, two teams in the beginning of the season you would never put there.
And neither of them had won so when they played that game, somebody was going to come out, as a first time.
First time winner.
Right.
Yeah, they made that.
Pittsford had won championships when they were Mendon and Sutherland.
Yes.
But since they've combined, they have not.
And then the A's watching Brighton again. I tell you, those guys, they got something going on over there, and they're going to be good again this year. I mean, he's doing a great job, and they definitely, need to be commended on their work at Penfield and representing Section 5 in states, making it to the finals.
We had two teams from Section 5 in the state finals.
Yep, and Monroe winning the finals. We haven't had that in a couple years.
No, the last team from Section 5 to win and they were the first Rochester City School District team that has won a state championship.
That means a little something special to you.
Absolutely, to see that is something that us old city coaches can pound our chests.
A little bit about, and I work in the city,
so
at a school. So
that was.
I think the WHEC online news that I just took a peek before I came here. They're going to celebrate the Monroe Championship Tuesday. I didn't read what they're doing, but the city's going to do something for them.
No, we figured, they would have something for us.
Something at City Hall and recognition.
The kids deserve it. The kids at Monroe deserve it.
Absolutely, and it's something that they will remember the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, I just want to let people know now, again, next week, Christmas morning, Thursday mornings, like I said, while the kids are unwrapping presents, turn on the TV, and 9 a.m., that's my Christmas present to everybody. You can watch the
National Football Foundation banquet
that we just had this past Sunday night or Sunday afternoon, and that was one heck of an event. That was really something great, and hopefully next year it'll be even bigger. I'm sure it will. Mm-hmm. They just Coach Bianco and Paul and the guys that run it just did one outstanding job. And Wade said it. He goes, "We're just here just to acknowledge the Section 5 kids because they're like us. We can't give it up."
Right. And just speaking again, we wishing everybody a very happy holiday season. We look forward to 2026. There'll be a lot more guests, a lot more information that we want to pass out. And Johnny, you got two years now done through this.
Actually, January 24th will be
the
2-year anniversary
when we started.
So we're getting closer and closer. Just to let people know too, in the off season, after next week, and because we're not going to be on, I'm just going to show the banquet. We'll be on again the second Tuesday in January. 13th or 14th, something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll be back on again. I'll fill people in. We're going to do it once every 2 weeks. Hopefully that'll fit your schedule a little better. And now Dave, because he's missing.
Right. Well, that's
you guys are retired. You guys are killing me.
We tag team, and sometimes Dave, I'm not in, and Dave is there, and sometimes we're all here.
You guys.
It's like like I said, we're a team, and we fill in and do what we got to do.
And in that time frame, again, we're going to try to get the Section 5 classification coaches in here. I've already been working on Coach Bianchi over at Penfield, and Coach Lehman, and getting all the guys.
It's always fun to speak to them after they had teams that won a sectionals, had played in state play, and just a recap of their successful season.
And the second, just to go back again, the second episode of season number 3 is going to be the one with Sean McCabe.
Okay, officials.
Yep, our officials ones, and Dave Cohen.
Okay, great.
Dave, like I said in the other one, he just retired officiating in Section 5 after, how about this one, 35 years.
Wow.
Of officiating. So I want to have him on because he's moving. They're moving him and his wife are moving down to Pittsburgh.
And he worked sectional finals. He's worked in state. In fact, he worked this past year in the state finals.
Yep, and talk a little bit about that. So, we're going to have them on, and then with the winners of our Section 5 coaches on, that should get us well into March, April, somewhere in there. And we just keep on moving. So, again, everybody, Merry Christmas. Don't try not to eat too much like I usually do. And enjoy your New Year's. Everybody be safe. And we will see you. The banquet will be on next Thursday at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
We good, guys?
We're good.
Good.
Now at the end, we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Keep it real, section.
Okay.
You remember this part?
I remember this part. Yeah.
You're
Not from hitting my head on the ceiling.
Are you still with? And by the way, down in our basement, there's those. We have like a little pipe that comes across the middle of the basement, and I tell everybody when they come down here, it's always for short Italians like me that I can just make it. But these guys, I always duck, and Coach came down. I said, "Watch out!" So he got through the first one, but coming back.
We have never had anybody on concussion protocol for our
Am I
podcast.
gonna have to? Yeah.
Now you got a little cut up there, I see too.
Oh no.
You're lucky Lanny did. Lanny be like trying to sue me.
I can't believe I did it.
It's tough. You're a game player. You got right
Right,
back.
I made it through the thing.
Yep, you made it through it.
I didn't have to go to the blue tent or anything.
Nope.
10th, and Bill came in from Perry, and I don't know how many inches of snow you were battling through, but you made it here. And
Got it, for the land, we're hardy country folk.
Yep, that's for sure.
oh, great.
All right, everybody, here we go. On 3, guys. 1, 2, 3. Keep it real. Section 5 football. Good night, everybody. Have a great night. Happy New Year's, Christmas.
one in a million, super rich. Got so much dough, I don't know what to do with it. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it used to be. Suddenly, a part of me just wants to go back to how it